I want to talk about something totally different today. If you've been following some of my videos, you know that I am an educator with a background in technology. My background in technology mixed with education has kind of created some form of imbalance in terms of the way I think, in terms of how I relate with my students. Let me explain. Prior to tech, I had always been a teacher. I was a class teacher back in Nigeria. Moving to Kazakhstan, I was a teacher also before trying out technology. And when I was into tech, I focused on UI UX design and no code development. So, in some way, these put me in a position where I had to ruminate, think, generate ideas, research, do a lot of things, create prototypes and see how it works, going back to the drawing board and just getting it. And one crazy thing about that is I had to be around people that are high performers. I worked with a lot of diligent people. I worked with back-end developers, front-end developers, a lot of people that if you're not smart enough, it shows. If you don't perform well enough, people figure that out and it's either they check you out, they bounce you, or you just realize it yourself like, oh, I'm not doing well enough. I found it hard to balance that behavior with teaching. Let me expatiate. From, like I said, there was this level of expectation, right? As a designer, as a back-end developer, you're expected to do something. When you have a problem, prefer solutions. But as a teacher, or let me say as an educator, I have this responsibility of letting my student develop from zero language level to upper intermediate native level, or let me say good enough to write professional IELTS exam. That was and is still my responsibility. But I have had this opportunity of meeting with several students. I have had the opportunity of meeting students that are not as motivated as I am. Over the past 10 years of my life in teaching, I would say 9 straight years of teaching, we have some students that you don't even have to do anything. By anything, I mean you don't have to push them. They are always on the run. They come to you with questions. They come to you with a lot of things. You just have to answer them, and they're moving on their own. Do a little bit, and you go. Then we have some students that you need to do something, but they react well. And there are some students that they are extremely passive in terms of personal development. They do not really, they do not really work extra hard, and that is where the problem is. I see situations where I expected them to do personal tasks at home and just come to me for for checks to do some other things. But one thing I have discovered is that these children, or let me say these teenagers, are not all the same. But the problem here is that the percentage of people that do that are way less than the amount of students I have to push. I know that's my job as a teacher. But where I have a problem, or I still have a problem, yeah, where I still have a problem is the fact that in terms of encouraging students to be good at what they do, that is going to benefit them as it's I think the only benefit I get here as a teacher is that my reputation. If you're good enough, I people recommend me, right? Oh, who helped you? It's Mr. Abraham or something, or my organization. But one thing I have noticed is that some students behave as if they are doing me a favor. Like when I try to encourage them to do something for their own lives, they're like, I don't have the time to do that. I have to go for a birthday party. I want to go for a walk with my girlfriend. And I am always in awe of the way these people think that sometimes my classes, I take some time just to change their orientation. They're teenagers, right? I try to make them see the advantages of what they need this result for. They need to get into the best universities, scholarships are available for them. But it still baffles me that as a teacher, how is a teacher sometimes more motivated than his students? How is that possible? Now, thinking back to when I was younger, I'm trying to say back in school, I remember focusing more than I did. because of the threat my dad gave that if you don't pass one time, you're gonna learn and stay behind, do some things. And I was scared of that. And I became so do we encourage the students with carrot method or the cane method? Do we threaten them? Do I threaten them or we do that? But now I think I have come to a stage where I can reconcile helping them. I can reconcile encouraging them. And I can also separate myself from them. When I go home, I focus on my family and I don't have to give myself this serious headache. I come to them, I plan for them, but it's up to them at the end of the day, not me. And that's what I have for you today. See you on the next one.